What if I tell you that Nigeria has one of the most chemically perfect crude oil in the world? Refineries around the world are paying premium price for it. Nigeria's crude oil is the world's best kept secret. All will be revealed today. And the twist in chapter 4 changes everything. In this video, I am going to break down the chemistry of crude oil that determines quality, the grades of Nigeria crude oil, who is winning the global race for Nigeria's oil, and what happens when Nigeria starts to refine its own oil.
So have you ever wondered why some crude oil is way more valuable than others? It's not all the same stuff.
Well, a lot of the time, the answer actually boils down to just one simple measurement.
And that number is called API gravity, which was developed by the American Petroleum Institute.
So what is it? Well, in simple terms, it's just a measure of how heavy or light oil is compared to water. Higher API means lighter oil.
The global crude oil market operates on oil grades. Two numbers determine if crude oil is worth its weight in gold or will be sold at a miserable rate. We are talking about API gravity and the sulfur content. High API gravity means the oil is lighter and it flows easily, needing less processing and produce high-value products like gasoline and diesel.
Let's get into why lighter is pricier. It's because lighter crude has more of the stuff that's easily turned into gasoline and diesel. That means it's just way more efficient to process, making it a lot more profitable for refineries.
Nigeria's crude oil grade is a blessing, but here's the problem. Most of the crude oil reserves in the world are heavy, they are sour, and very expensive to process. We are talking oil like Venezuela Orinoco, Canada's oil sands.
Canada produces a lot of its oil from oil sands, which have a very similar consistency. But when these extremely heavy crudes are far underground, getting them out is a lot more complicated. But the oil in Venezuela's largest deposit isn't just heavier, it's way over here, on the extra heavy side of the spectrum.
Nigeria crude oil has low sulfur content, which means fewer emissions, good for refinery infrastructure.
Refining lighter oils is relatively simple. You can put them in a distillery and separate out the useful parts without too much hassle.
On the other hand, the world cannot get enough of Nigeria's light sweet crude oil.
Bonny Light crude oil is a high-grade crude oil produced in the Niger Delta region of Nigeria. It is a low-density, light sweet crude oil with low sulfur content that produces high yields of gasoline. It is therefore in high demand and popular with refiners, and the low impact its byproducts have on the environmental. Bonny Light is a key benchmark crude for West African crude oil production and is widely used across various industries, including the chemical, agricultural, petrochemical, textile, petroleum and gas sectors.
Nigeria's deposit of light sweet crude oil is one of the largest in the world. The Bonny Light crude oil is one of Nigeria's creme de la creme in the elite tier. Globally, it means refineries can get quality products with far less work. Geology is on the side of Nigeria. It's not luck, it's Mother Nature. Now, let's talk about all the quality grades of crude oil that Nigeria has. In chapter 2, I am going to talk about a grade of oil you probably never heard of, and traders prefer it over Nigeria's flagship Bonny Light. Nigeria has a number of flagship oil grades. The Cothon, the Escovers, and the Kwe Ibo are arguably higher quality than all of the other grades.
And from the oil and gas, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has commenced export of its new crude-grade Carthon, a significant milestone in the company's drive to increase Nigeria's crude oil production and expand its portfolio of globally competitive export streams. A statement by Andy O'Day, Chief Corporate Communications Officer, reveals Carthon Blend Crude, the latest addition to Nigeria's basket of crude grades, has an API gravity of 36.4, placing it firmly within the light sweet category, comparable to Bonny Light, and highly valued in the global market for its superior petrol and diesel yields.
The problem is Nigeria's inconsistent production caused by challenges of infrastructure. Despite all the challenges, the demand for Nigeria's crude oil remains high.
The Nigerian delegation came with just one message, that Nigeria is ready for investments. There's a new Nigeria where investment, is welcome. As the facts are there for anybody to see. And what we are saying is that it's important that in view of what is going on in the world, and Nigeria's crude is one of the best in the world. And I believe that the message is sinking well.
Nigeria is in a unique position that its crude oil, high quality, reputation is very difficult to destroy. But something happened in 2014 that destroyed Nigeria's biggest customer relationship virtually overnight. And Nigeria's response changed the whole oil map in the world. Let's talk about this in the next chapter. Since the 1960s, Nigeria has had a great relationship with the European and American refineries. The Gulf Coast refineries and the Atlantic Basin all ran on Nigeria's exceptional crude oil. But then, the American shale oil revolution happened.
The shale revolution made America the world's largest oil producer at 13 million barrels per day. The shale revolution refers to the combination of hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling that enabled the United States to significantly increase its production of oil and natural gas, particularly from tight oil formations, which now account for 36% of total U.S. crude oil production.
And suddenly, there was a problem. America's need for Nigeria's crude oil diminished significantly, almost overnight. Nigeria lost its biggest customer, and entire cargo routes disappeared. Nigeria had to act quick and find new markets.
Still in West Africa, Nigeria's oil minister says the country is likely to sign a cash-raising deal for oil with India worth about $15 billion by the end of the year. Now, the minister made the comments during a visit to New Delhi.
Nigeria's crude oil was just too good to be down in the dumps. India came into the picture and heavily patronized Nigeria's crude oil. China came into the picture in a big way as they needed quality feedstock for their refineries.
Now, China is investing overseas. According to a Financial Times report, the country's biggest offshore crude producer, CNOOC, is looking to score stakes in about 6 billion barrels of oil reserves in Nigeria. Let's get more on the country's increasing efforts to buy energy assets overseas. Michael Jin-Yu is an analyst with China Merchant Securities. He's also the top-ranked analyst for CNOOC according to Bloomberg data. If you had heeded his calls, you would have made 75% on your investments over the past year. Michael, Chinese energy companies have spent at least $13 billion in overseas assets since December. What's the significance of the move? I mean, obviously trying to ensure energy security, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Actually, this is the deal. Chinese oil companies have been taking these valuable opportunities of lower oil and gas prices to speed up their acquisitions abroad and also to secure their crude oil overseas.
And Nigeria, due to the quality of its oil, averted what would have been a serious disaster. The question right now, Nigeria's crude oil is so desirable. Why is it being sold and bought back as refined products? Expensively, may I add. A $20 billion answer is in the next chapter. Nigeria started exporting crude oil in 1958 to Europe, to America, Of course, Nigeria got the crude oil money, but its customers made refined products and created jobs for their economies, thereby creating value for their economies a lot more than Nigeria gained from selling the crude oil. And now, here comes Aliko Dangote, a man with a vision who has said, no more, we need to do something about this.
We as Africans, please don't be deceived. No foreigner can come and make your continent great.
Yeah.
It must be the domestic investors. Domestic investment is what actually attracts foreign investment. You have heard what Jeffrey Sachs said. What he said, is that I don't believe if the West want us to progress in terms of industrialization. Industrialization is something that is the basic that we need. We need to produce what we consume.
Yeah.
Building the largest single train refinery in the world was not going to be a piece of cake or a walk in the park.
The luck that we've had by getting the refinery done is because people believe that we're crazy, it will never happen. So I think the people who were sort of sabotaging us, they were less concerned because they knew that these guys have entered into something that they are going to be finished. So they didn't really bother much.
So they thought you were going to fail,
yeah,
essentially.
they thought that we were going to fail.
Today, Dangote refinery is fully functional and at full capacity of 650,000 barrels a day. It has fully transformed Nigeria's economy using Nigeria's own high-quality crude oil, taking in as much as Nigeria allocated it. Nigeria is now an important player in the global oil market, and it's all playing out in the recent global oil crisis.
Nigeria's Dangote petroleum refinery has stepped up exports across Africa amid supply disruptions due to Iran war. Data from tanker tracking firm Kepler shows Nigeria's exports of clean petroleum products, including petrol, diesel, kerosene and jet fuel, have risen to about 214,000 barrels per day.
Africa is no longer just the consumer. It is rapidly becoming the indispensable backbone of global energy security and saving the region from logistical delays.
The secret is now out. Nigeria's high-quality crude oil is now the engine to Nigeria's industrial future. Nigeria's crude oil via Dangote refinery is now working for Nigeria, and Nigeria is positioning to be the hub of African oil. This next video covers that. Please give me a like and subscribe to the channel.